everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of My Mom Sandy. We are your hosts. I am Josh Fasten, and the lady next to me puts the mother in kombucha. This is My Mom Sandy.
That's right. I love that kombucha. Kombucha baba stuff. Hello, everybody.
You liked it, huh?
It was interesting. I just didn't want the mother.
Nobody really wants
the mother. I know. There you go.
You would drink it again, though.
I don't want to be like drinking the mother. So I might drink out of the top of it, but when you get down to the bottom, that's like gross because you said it's like gritty and stuff, right?
It's not gritty. It tastes like paradise.
Okay. All right. So what are we talking about today?
So
do we have some housekeeping?
Keeping cleaning?
Keeping cleaning?
Keep cleaning?
Keep cleaning?
We do. Thanks for asking. That was like a perfect setup.
Yeah.
So last episode was one of our listeners, Caitlin. She wrote in, wanted to know about the beach, and you had asked actually a couple questions. And to answer your questions, Caitlin, I think you had asked if she liked the beach.
Yes.
She's obsessed with the beach.
Oh.
And then we'd had that talk about what's going on over there.
The cat is using a claw scratch toy.
Which would be what, your furniture?
No, the piece of cardboard that's down there.
And then you had talked about drinking at the beach. We had talked about that, and she said you can drink at the beach. You just have to be subtle about it.
Oh, put it in a paper bag.
And no glass. And then she sent a photo. She said, here's a photo evidence of the kids.
Drinking at the beach?
No, doing the starfishing. I said they do the whole starfishing. I don't want to post it, though, because I don't want to post a photo of someone else's kids. That's weird.
Could get in trouble for that. There could be some liability attached to that.
Exactly.
Well, I'm glad that Caitlin likes the beach. She's obsessed with the beach. What is it that she likes so much about it?
Well, she's Canadian.
Oh, they don't have beaches in
Canada. They don't have
Canada.
the beach. No.
Unless, I don't know, Vancouver does.
Give me the Canadian.
Canada.
Is that the Canadian accent?
I don't know.
And then our friend Teresa said that she cannot wait until the season finale of 90 Day Fiancé because she wants us to do a recap of that.
All right. I could do that. I know it could be painful. The season finale is actually the tell-all, and usually they do like 2 episodes, so they drag it out. So we'll see. This is the 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days.
Are we getting close to the finale?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know which one she's talking about because tonight is the 90 Day Fiancé the other way. Monday nights, and in case you didn't know, we're recording on Monday. Anyway, it's tonight, and it seems like that could be getting near the end because Corey is going to the previews for tonight is Corey's going to ask Evelyn to marry him. So I imagine that when we get to that point, we're getting near the end.
Do you think she's going to say yes?
I think she's not going to say yes.
And Corey's the one whose father passed away. Mm-hmm. You think that the least that she could do would be to say yes to the...
Well, I think that she probably loves the guy, but I don't think she wants to be married, number one. And number two, his visa is running out. So it's kind of like either he has to get married to her or he has to go back to,
It's kind of one of those shit or get off the pot situations.
Exactly. So I have some housekeeping.
Oh, okay.
So I delivered the dollhouse, as you know.
Yes.
And I guess last week we spoke about the dollhouse and its delivery, and you thought that it was really stupid or strange that, that I was like so into the dollhouse type thing. But the gal that we gave it to, Susan, her son, who's probably in his mid-20s, he helped her take it out of the car, and he said the dollhouse was beautiful. He thought it was beautiful, and he's not gay.
Oh well, good. That's good. That's good.
I mean, I could just see that you're looking at me like something's wrong with him.
How old is he again?
He's probably in his mid-20s.
Is he an architect?
Not that I'm aware of, but he could.
Is he in construction?
No.
Woodworking?
No. So what are you telling me? The only people that can appreciate the dollhouse are people that might have contributed to making it.
Does
in
he
some
do
sort of way.
interior design?
No, excuse me. I'm clearing my throat.
Yeah,
no, he
if
does
you're gonna
not.
clear it away from the mic.
I know. We need one of those cough buttons.
No, because you don't even know what the cough button does.
I know now because you told me.
No, I mean that's fine that he thinks it's beautiful.
He asked how old it was. She told him that it was probably 30 years old. Actually, it's probably only about 25 years old. I've only had it for 25 years. Let's put it that way.
I feel like you've had it longer than 25 years.
Well, Sam's what, 34?
34, yeah.
I didn't get it when she was 4 years old. It was probably closer to when she was like 9 years old.
Okay, maybe. It's possible.
I know you have a kind of a distorted. I love that story you told to my brother about the hike on Catalina and how how old were you then? 10?
10, 12.
Yeah, we went on a family cruise and my brother, Uncle Mike, took Josh and cousin Brian. By the way, happy birthday, Brian.
I texted him, happy birthday, Brian. If
Good.
you're listening, happy birthday.
And
But he's got to be 40 something?
I don't know. That's what I was wondering.
He's got to be like 47.
I'm thinking 40.
7.
No, he said 47. I'm thinking maybe this might have been 40.
Hey, happy 47th birthday, Brian.
Really?
You're 3
You look
years
great.
from 50.
You look great for your age. You look as good as I do at 49.
I know, my mom's only 49. That's a weird thing. If he's 47,
I know.
you're 49.
And he's my nephew. Well, things like that do happen.
It does happen.
Weird
yeah.
things like that.
Totally normal.
So anyway, what was I saying? What was I talking about?
The hike in Catalina.
Oh, the hike in Catalina, yeah. So it was funny because when my brother was just here from New Zealand, we kind of talked about that, and I didn't remember it at all. We had gone on a cruise, a 3-day cruise to Mexico, and one of the stops was in Catalina, and so my brother asked Josh and cousin Brian to go for this on a hike with them.
I wasn't really I'm not a huge hiker now, or a big like outdoorsy person now. What was that?
I was trying to clear my throat. What are you gonna? If I turn my head and move, you're gonna ask me. So I might as well just do it right in the microphone.
Well, no, it was weird because you did it and it looked like you were leaning over to fart, and then and then what was even more weird was that nothing came out of your throat. That was like a silent clear.
Yeah, it was just a clear.
And I was like, did she just let out a silent but deadly?
Yes, I always raise my butt up to let out a sign. I don't fart, so.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, that's good. So yeah, we did this hike. It was fucking miserable. I mean, I think it was like, oh, this is going to be like a mile hike.
But the really funny part was that when Mike was here, we were talking about it, and Josh was like, well, I was only, how old did you say you were? 10?
10?
Yeah.
7?
Yeah, he's like, I was only 10. What did I know? I didn't want to go, because he complained the whole way through the hike. It was hard.
I didn't want to go. I was on vacation. I didn't want to go for a hike.
Yeah.
I just was,
So-
I don't think I wore proper shoes. I don't think I had a proper outfit on.
So we actually sat down and figured out what year we took the cruise. And it turns out that Josh was more like 17, not 10.
No, I don't think I was 17. I don't think I was
It
that
was
old.
like 1999.
So I was 12.
You were not 12. You're full of shit. Do the math.
Okay, so that was the thing. I want to give a quick shout out to our friend Adam, who actually supplied us with a new mic. So we're trying out we're trying to up the tech game a little bit here.
We have new equipment. Aren't we lucky?
Not exactly where we want to be,
Yes, thank you, Adam.
but I do appreciate it. Was a very, very nice gesture. The other thing that I want to do is sitting in front of us. I went grocery shopping earlier today.
Gross.
Sitting in front of us. So so I know that you love. I'm vegan. Your son's vegan.
Yes.
And one thing that we always talk about is vegan stuff and what's it made out of and yada yada yada.
I think we've talked about that on air before.
Yeah, we have.
Yes.
And that was the fag episode, which we realized that fags are exactly like real eggs, just fake.
Just fags. Just fake eggs.
But one thing that I've always had an issue with that I think has been very difficult for any vegan company to reproduce is beef jerky. And that was always something that when I did eat meat,
I don't even know why you would want a company to reproduce or produce a vegan beef jerky.
well, because I don't eat beef jerky. So
You must really love it that you're.
it was great. I mean, it's like
a,
such like I remember like road trips, like pulling over and getting like a bag of like beef jerky, and it was delicious. Such a great snack. What's going on over there?
The cat's in the box. The cat's in the box, folks.
Happens a lot.
Happens a lot.
So I picked up from Whole Foods a company called the Louisville Vegan Jerky Company,
or also known as Louisville.
I don't think it's Louisville. I think it's Louisville. But the owner of this company.
Where's the E? Where's the E or the Y at the end? It's Louisville. People just pronounce it Louisville.
Louisville.
It's Louisville. Louisville Vegan Jerky Company.
And this is the flavor is Reuben's Smoky Carolina Barbecue, and that's a photo of Reuben right there.
He kind of looks like the KFC Colonel.
He does look like Colonel Sanders a little bit.
Smoky Carolina Barbecue. So you're gonna open these babies up and try this on air, right?
So we both are.
Let's talk about the last time you bought. What did you buy that was really gross?
Banana jerky.
Oh,
banana
that was
beef
so
jerky.
Gross. Oh.
And it was like teriyaki ginger, banana. Not good.
Oh my god, it was bad.
So this is no gluten ingredients.
I don't know what he paid for the thing, but he opened it up, took a bite through the whole package.
So it says no gluten ingredients, non-GMO soy, keep it fake. Hand-bagged vegan jerky.
So it's soy.
Is it though?
Well, it says non-GMO.
Textured soy protein. Yeah, it is. Yellow mustard,
that's
apple
gross.
cider vinegar, vegan sugar.
I don't like soy.
vegan
What's
sugar.
vegan sugar?
Tamari.
What is vegan sugar?
Vegan brown sugar.
Stevia?
Olive oil. Chili powder. Contains less than 2% of the following spices. Natural smoke flavor. It does contain soy.
All right, well, open it up. Don't keep us...
Stanley Chase is the owner. He said that this started in 2012 after he made a mistake in his kitchen.
Great. Terrific. Great for you. Good for you, Stanley. In 2012?
Yeah.
No, that wasn't that long ago.
All right, let's open it up.
I think you should. I think that, if we're really going to do like food tasting on air, we should probably do some.
It doesn't smell bad. I mean, it smells good.
Yeah, it kind of smells like beef.
But I mean, that to me, that's like a smoky Carolina smell.
Yeah, like beef. What does it look like? Does it look like a dog treat or something? It kind of looks like a dog treat.
I want to get a good piece out of here.
All right. So Josh and my mom Sandy are both chewing and ingesting the.
I don't think it's bad. It was weird. I got up like really close to the mic when I was chewing, but then I backed up.
Well, should I do that too?
Yeah, probably. I will say that this is probably the best.
It has a very strong barbecue flavor to it, for sure. Smoky, Carolina.
Smoky.
Barbecue.
They also had a black pepper flavor.
Teriyaki. Do they have teriyaki?
They did not.
No, teriyaki would be
They had a
good.
smoky Carolina barbecue, a maple bacon flavor.
Oh, that sounds good.
I said I didn't. I thought that could have been messy.
Maple sugar, bacon.
And then what I liked about this is if you look at the package, it kind of looked like
maple syrup, bacon.
there was like some like juice, like some.
Yeah, it doesn't look as weird. The other ones probably don't have see-through.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it's all the same. It's the same packaging. It just.
Oh, I see what you're saying. All right, so cool. So Josh found a new vegan snack.
Would you eat it?
Well, I'll probably eat that piece, and that probably will be it. That'll probably be it for me.
I slept weird on my neck last night. Okay, so I want to go into something that I realized that we had kind of glossed over. You're enjoying an adult beverage. Your go-to.
A partial adult beverage.
A halfie.
Yeah, there wasn't enough of anything, so.
Wait, you're out of vodka?
No, I have vodka, but I didn't have a lot of.
I have like the burps from the mineral water. Carbonated mineral water.
Yeah, I
Excuse
do
me.
have. I have like a half. It's like gone. My adult
good thing
beverage. I'm only really having it. I haven't had one for the last several weeks.
I know.
So.
And I got you some new Bloody Mary mix today.
Yeah, but I didn't want to open it.
That's fair. I understand.
Do you know why?
Because you don't know when you're gonna have your next one. Oh God!
Excuse
Oh my
me.
God! Oh God!
I swallowed funny. Get the cough button. No, I didn't want to open it because it was nice to get rid of that other bottle that's been in the refrigerator forever.
But this is a much smaller bottle, though.
I know, but it's still wide. But so I just thought, well, yeah, I don't know when I'm going to have another one. So
Okay, fair enough. So I want to go way back here
Yes.
because I realized that we glossed over something.
what did we gloss over?
We started off some episodes. We went with Growing Up Fast, and we went into Growing Up Fast in Part 2. But one thing that we never really talked about was growing up summers.
You just gave away my maiden name.
I know. But I want to talk about your...
Shame.
I want to talk about your upbringing. I want to talk about you growing up, where you grew up, how that's different from now, the things that you got into, and the things that you didn't get into. And again, like how that's all different from kids now.
Well, I don't know how that's different from kids now. I don't have kids now.
I know, that's what I'll tell you about. I don't have kids now either, but I can tell you because I know
people that have kids. Yeah.
So you're 49 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you were born in Japan.
I was born in Japan. My father worked for the Central Intelligence Agency at the time.
We talked about that.
My older brother was born there as well.
So they moved around.
Moved around quite a bit. After probably about a year after I was born, we came back to the States, and then your Uncle Mike was born in Vermont 2 years later. And then we moved to Pakistan, and my youngest brother was born there. So, and then we stayed there for, I don't know how long. I was just a little one.
Little Sandy. You were a daughter, Sandy.
I was probably maybe 4 years old in Pakistan. I do have memories of it for sure. I mean, really, some real vivid memories of it.
I don't really think I remember anything from when I was that young. Although I remember being on a plane and having to pee and them not letting me use the bathroom.
Oh, that might have been when we went to Yugoslavia.
How old would I have been?
You would have been probably 2.
So I remember that.
3, yeah.
And then I remember wherever we were that had the swimming pool or the lake that I swam in with your father and my father, and it was like really cold.
That was in Dubrovnik. It was a swimming pool. It was. I loved that. That was a great trip. I used to work for an airline, so we would get special tour package type things, and this one was super, super cheap. So my father paid for you and me and your father and my father and my mom to all go from LA to Dubrovnik. It was like, for an adult, it was $199. That was airfare, and I'm trying to think, it was 5 nights or 7 nights in what they call, and I'll put it in quotes, a 5-star hotel.
Not so much.
Back in the day, it was a communist country still. Yugoslavia was communist, and so no, it wasn't so much it was probably 5 stars according to their standards, but certainly not here. But yeah, that they boasted an indoor pool, but what they didn't tell you was the indoor pool just had seawater in it. It was water from the ocean.
It was freezing.
And it wasn't heated.
No.
So it was like, why bother having it indoors? What's up with that? But yeah, I remember that. That was
I have that. I have a memory of that.
So yeah, you were born in 82. We probably went like in 84, 85.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, my earliest memory. So then where did you because you guys have moved around a lot, but then once you got settled, where were you settled? Where did you do elementary school and where did you do high school?
Elementary school was East Coast. We lived in Florida for 6 months while my dad worked on the Bay of Pigs. After that, we lived in, before that, we lived in Virginia and then Florida, excuse me, and then and then Pennsylvania. And I went from 3rd grade through 6th grade to school in Pennsylvania, and then moved to California going into 7th grade. So
and then you guys settled in Palos Verdes?
Yes, Palos Verdes.
And then you were there from 7th grade on?
That's correct.
So give me the rundown of high school, school dances, parties, hangout parties. Did you ever sneak out of the house? Were you drinking? Give me the Sandy rundown. What was it like growing up, Sandy?
Well, I was the typical second child syndrome child, the one that
you were ready to party. You were ready to get out.
Yeah, I wasn't. My older brother was the overachiever. He was the type A, got to prove to be good at everything.
Got to be a jet pilot.
Whatever.
So,
and typically the second child either competes with the first or says, screw it, I'm just going to do my own thing. And that's pretty much what I did. I just did my own thing. So I kind of hung out with,
The good kids, the bad kids.
Inquisitive.
Yeah, so, I mean,
experimental type of people.
Give me it.
Well, I'll tell you, the first time I ever smoked pot, I wrote it in my diary.
Oh,
these are some fun stories, yeah. I wrote it in my diary, and it was shortly after we moved to California, and it's just with these two gals that I went to school with, and
close friends, not close friends.
So.
Okay. And how old were you?
I was like, I don't know, 12, 13.
That was when you smoked pot for the first time. Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
I'm getting after it.
Sorry.
So did one of them have a J? Did that, you guys call it a J? A joint, a miniature cigarette?
I think we called it a joint. I'm not really sure, to be honest.
And one of the girls just showed up with it. No one asked.
No. We went to her house after school, and
she had a stash at 13?
I don't even know where she got it. To be honest with you, I have no idea. I don't remember.
See, those would have been the questions I would have asked. It's like, where did this come from?
Well, yeah, back at the time, it was just kind of like, okay, let's try. I mean, it wasn't like she was, she wasn't really a big drug addict either, but we were kind of all experimenting at the time.
Okay.
This was back in the 60s and the early 70s. So you got to understand.
Everybody was smoking.
The drug culture was alive. It was all about rock and roll and drugs and
so I feel like
Woodstock and,
So I feel like at that time, though, and I mean,
psychedelics.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like it was that situation of like, let's just do kind of whatever. Like
whatever makes you feel good,
yeah,
baby.
Like if it feel like, what was it? Like feels good, do it, right? That was kind of like the mantra of the 70s.
I guess. And I think as a teenager too, you don't really take into consideration risks and maybe what you're doing to your body.
Because I never smoked marijuana in high school. I mean,
I don't know where that came from, but
I mean, two of my closest friends would show up to we had first period badminton.
I know,
and they would show up high as a kite, and they were, and I'm just like, oh my God, you guys did it again?
Of course we did. We do it every day.
Every morning.
And I remember your counselor telling me, really commending you for not, because your two friends ended up going to continuation school.
Mrs. Amanthorpe.
Yeah.
Amanthorpe.
Yeah. And
shout out to Mrs. Amanthorpe. Got me through Redondo Union High. If you're listening, girl.
But she was really amazed that you didn't get caught up in that. That those were your best friends. You guys were in a band together, blah, blah, blah.
I was a great kid.
And
God, you got so lucky with me.
I know. Both you and Sam. I didn't really have the problems that I created for my mom and dad.
Okay, so you're 12 or 13, you're smoking weed.
I wrote it in my diary. And at the time I had this girlfriend in Pennsylvania, and we were exchanging letters, and she was sending me letters that, like, oh, I'm doing these drugs and that.
And you knew her because that's where you guys had lived out there.
Well, she's one of the girls. She's one of the girls I used to play Paul McCartney and George Harrison Barbies with.
Yeah, totally normal.
Her name was Gail.
Gail.
I won't give you her last name, but
nobody's business. Gail, you're safe.
But anyway,
don't tap on that.
That'd be so funny if she could hear me. If she listens.
Maybe she listens.
Yeah.
Should we? Do you know her? Maybe we can look her up on Facebook and send her a link.
Yeah. Anyway. I don't know.
You tell me her name later.
Anyway, she's writing me these letters telling me about all this really bad behavior that she was experiencing in her life. I think maybe sex and
like stuff that she was doing,
alcohol. Yeah, stuff that she was doing. And so me and my friend decided that I was going to write back and I was going to make it look like I was doing all that stuff as well.
But you really weren't.
But I really wasn't. And so
you were like,
what happened was, I guess my folks went through my room. They found these letters from Gail, and then they were very suspicious. And then they read my diary. I had written that I had
now, what were you thinking? Your father worked for the CIA, and you were just casually jotting down notes?
I didn't know that my father was a spy then, remember? I didn't find out till I was 16.
You knew what? Yeah, you knew he had a government job, right?
But no, I knew that he did at some point in his life. He wasn't working for the government then. He was working for aerospace.
Aerospace.
Yeah, in quotes. So anyway, what happened was I had braces and I had a orthodontist appointment. So my mom...
You got a marijuana stuck in your...
No, listen, my mom picked me up at school and she took me to the orthodontist and then she took me home to eat. And when I got to the house, my dad was home from work. And there was a cop there. And boy, oh boy, they had the letter, they had the diary, they had the letters. everything out there on the table. Plus, I was taking a home ec class, and we had those little,
You made pot brownies.
No, we had those little cake decorations, those little sprinkles that you put on cakes and stuff. I had stolen those from my home ec. I'm a horrible person.
Why?
I don't know, because it's just, I just did. I stole them. I thought they'd be fun to eat or whatever.
What was?
I don't know. Don't ask.
I mean, the most of those could have cost back then was what, 50 cents?
I have no idea. But it was like a whole packet of them. It was like 6 different like tubes. Like they looked almost like test tubes. And so
oh, Jesus.
So anyway, they were in my drawer, and my father, made me confess about smoking the pot and and all that. And then the police officer gave me a lecture on how bad drugs were, and then they asked me about the candies, the cake decoration.
Because they thought
candies.
those were drugs.
Yeah, they thought those were drugs, and I said they're just candies. And my father said, "Well, we're going to have them analyzed," and I said, "Well, go for it."
Did they have your diary and like the cake candies and stuff in like Ziploc baggies? And they
No,
were
like evidence, no. But it was sitting on the table. It was quite an orthodontist visit that time.
So, and your brother, the 3 of your brothers were they all home at the time?
No. It was during the school day. Everybody was nobody was there but me.
Oh, so you had off school because you had to go to the orthodontist.
Right. I was going to go back to school. As a matter of fact, I think I had to go back to school.
Did your mom obviously knew that this was all going to go down?
Oh yeah.
So she kind of set you up a little bit.
Yeah, everybody planned it.
What a
it was
setup.
all planned up. I know.
What a shit setup.
Well, just so they know, it didn't stop me, Mom and Dad.
Yeah, F you, Grammy and Gramps.
Oh well.
I'm just kidding. That's now. So okay.
And then there was a time when I told her I was spending the night. There's certain people that my mother hated because, like,
she knew that those were the bad kids.
Exactly, or she thought they were the bad kids. Like, I had a really good friend, Barbara, and her father worked out of the city, and so her mom would go. Either he would come home for the weekend, or her mom would go to visit him on the weekends, and so she was oftentimes left at home with her older brother, who was, not too much older than we were. He was like in high school, but we'd have parties over there and stuff all the time. And then there was one time, and my mother kind of got wind of the fact that her parents weren't home, and she didn't like that. And so then there was one time I had said I was spending the night there, and we actually went to a party, and we're at this party, and we're like out in the front yard or something, and up drives my parents' station wagon.
Because they found out.
They found out, and they came and picked me up.
And how old were you?
I don't know.
High school?
I don't know. 8th grade, 9th grade, maybe.
It's okay. So let's just say freshman in high school. And then like at these parties back then, like what was happening? You guys were listening to like Cream. Oh, Ginger Baker just died.
Oh, really?
Yeah, drummer of Cream.
Wow.
So were you guys like listening to Cream like in the white room with black carpet?
I don't know what year was that out? I don't think that was probably was. Yeah, I listened to some Cream. Listened to Cream, The Who, Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell, Joan Baez.
But then was everyone like Joe Biden?
Yeah, Joe Biden.
He was there?
Joan Baez. You don't know who she is?
Joni Baez?
Joan Baez. Look her up.
I'll look her up. So at these parties, like was like just marijuana, cigarettes just running rampant? Was there alcohol? Who was supplying the alcohol?
I think there was alcohol. I don't think that pot was mainstream for us at that point.
Is it in the white room with black carpet or curtains? It's black curtains. I was wrong. I said carpet.
Carpet.
Yeah,
no.
That's weird.
Black carpet's weird. Who would have black carpet?
In a white room? I think that would look great.
Oh, you love that. So anyway, my life's kind of boring. I was kind of a rebellious kid. I did well I'm certainly smart enough.
1968.
Oh yeah. That was like when I was going into high school.
Yeah, so you guys were probably jamming that.
Yeah, Mothers of Invention. Have you ever heard of them?
Is that a song or a band?
It's a band.
No.
Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention.
Oh, okay. Did you guys ever at these parties? Did you guys ever listen to a band called The Shoulders?
No, there's no such thing. Stop it. You're doing it again. I don't like it. No shoulders.
Late 60s, early 70s
Nope.
psychedelic funk
Never
rock.
heard of the shoulders.
They had a song called Kneecaps.
What a stupid name for a band anyway. So anyway, yeah. So, I started doing well in school once I realized I wanted to go to college. So about my sophomore year, I started applying myself and not doing as much partying. I always had boyfriends.
So you brought up the other day there was a great photo of you at prom. Was it prom?
Yes.
And I guess we don't have to say the guy's name, but you guys look great together.
Well, of course we do.
It was prom. And that was senior prom?
I think so.
You guys were the same grade?
It could have been junior or senior prom,
Okay.
either or. I dated him for 2 years. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And you had said that
He went to a different school than I did.
So you had to get a pass?
No, we didn't have passes back then.
See, when I was in high school, if you were going to bring someone to your prom,
From a different place, yeah.
you had to like submit their name, and then like the teachers like I have like this mineral water is giving me the burps.
Maybe it's time for a Tums.
No, it's not that. I should have had just regular. I should have had just regular water.
There you go.
So yeah, we had to get passes. The principal had to like look up the kid to make sure that it was like, oh, this is like an okay kid, like he's got good grades and shit.
So you had to like write like where the kid went to school and
Oh,
stuff?
you'd have like submit like their social security number,
Get
like
out.
their home address, their mother and father,
their credit report.
everything. But like, yeah, I mean, they wanted to know, because I don't think that they wanted kids showing up because they couldn't punish those kids if they did something at like one of our school dances.
Yeah,
you know,
never thought about that. Yeah, the things when you were in school, things were a lot tighter than when I was. Maybe the educators learned their lessons.
I feel like things are tighter now.
Probably.
Yeah,
I would
I feel like there's a
imagine.
lot more shit that, I mean, look, I don't want to go down like this weird rabbit hole, but when I was a kid in school, we never worried about other kids coming and shooting up our schools, right? I'm assuming that when you were a kid, you did not worry about that. I think we had 2 drills that we did, and we did an earthquake drill where you'd get under the desk and you'd put your arm around the leg of the desk and you'd, try to, and they always said, cover your head.
And the desk would be bouncing.
Yeah, the desk would be shaking.
And
right?
you'd be like, I can't hold on to it.
And then we had a drill where, like a lockdown drill, where if there was like someone on campus, who was like
that's the
not
same
supposed to be
thing.
there. Right, but like,
But it hadn't occurred then.
well, not only had it not really
Columbine.
occurred,
I lived in where Columbine was. I think my youngest brothers might have gone to one of those schools. Or
what year was Columbine?
I
90
don't-
something?
I don't know.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, we'd have these lockdown drills where, you just kind of, you were in the classroom, you turned all the lights off and you kind of got down to pretend like no one was in the class.
We never had that,
Right.
but we did it when on the East Coast. We did have like air raid drills.
In case they dropped the bomb.
Exactly.
And did you get under the desk and hold it?
Yeah, we got under the desk. I don't know what good that would have done.
Yeah, it's like-
we're hiding from the radiation.
Oof.
Put your hands over your face. I mean, no, I don't know what that would have done for us, but we did have those. They were like air raid drills. We had those and fire drills, and that was it. We didn't have earthquakes back on the East Coast.
I guess we did fire drills as well.
Yeah,
Fire drills were always, 'cause it was just like everyone get out of the class and get to the field.
I know, everybody, and talk to your friends and have a good time. No big deal.
I always felt like I was getting sunburn. Hated being outside in the sun.
You're such a little wuss.
So miserable.
I don't know who raised you
Yeah.
to be a wuss. But
Okay, so high school was semi-party, semi-good student, a little bit of marijuana, a little bit of experience. So the other day you were talking about, the last episode you were talking about
hitchhiking to the beach.
hitchhiking to the beach, and you'd made a comment like, oh, we used to hitchhike to the beach, and then we would do, I'm not going to say that. What did you guys do when you were hitchhiking to the beach?
We did a few psychedelics in my day.
Little tabs of acid,
Yeah.
LSD mushrooms.
Mescaline. No mushrooms. We didn't have mushrooms. We had pills that were made. I don't know what they were made out of.
Not a clue. You were just like, I'll take it.
Yeah, that's the thing is that you don't, I mean, I could tell you some wild stories about things that I did and chances that I took and,
Did you guys have, there's these little, they're red pills. They're called topless fiestas. Did you guys ever have those?
don't know what that is.
I just made it up.
Oh, okay. No. We did, speed uppers, downers. It wasn't speed. It was, I don't know what they call it. Whites.
Cocaine?
No.
Methamphetamine?
No. Well, it wasn't as strong as any of that. Barbiturates.
See, I remember when I was in high school, I mean, obviously there was like a big marijuana craze. Like there was kids smoking weed and,
dare they?
My friends had pipes and bongs and stuff. And it was usually because of like an older brother or an older sister or like a sibling. But then I remember like my grad school trip, we did like the Disneyland thing.
Yeah.
Like grad night. Maybe it wasn't grad night. I don't know. But all the seniors would do like this Disneyland trip.
Yeah.
And you go to Disneyland at like midnight or some shit, and you stay there till like 6 in the morning or something. And I mean, just what a horrible idea. A. B. I remember all these kids brought No-Dos.
Yeah.
Which were like the caffeine pills or whatever, right? So and they were just like, and I remember, all my friends were doing No-Dos, and at the time,
No-Dos was heavy duty.
Well, at the time, I was like, I remember seeing them and. A lot of them were like, "Oh my god, man, it's crazy," and I'm just like, I look at it now, I'm like, it's a fucking caffeine pill.
Yeah, I know. It's like have a cup of coffee.
Yeah, like there's like
have a little shot of espresso.
The same shit of like drinking a Red Bull now or something.
I know. There you go.
Okay.
We didn't have Red Bulls back then, though.
Did you guys have? You guys didn't have any sort of like energy type drinks or energy?
We did not. No, we did not.
It's probably better.
I don't even know if they had Gatorade, to be honest with you.
No sports drinks?
I don't know. I wasn't into sports. Unless you call partying.
Did you play any sports in high school?
No. Well.
Water polo?
No, water polo. No, I did try out for choreography.
Choreo. What is that? Like choreographical dance?
It's dance, yeah. I didn't make it.
Tried out for dance class.
Yeah, I enjoyed in high school, sports-wise, I did very well at gymnastics. And I liked the it was like modern dance.
What were you
club.
guys? Were you guys dancing to Cream back then?
No.
Like what would have modern dance? Like was that like ballroom dancing?
No.
Because modern dance then is different.
No, it's like abstract.
Like when you see the women on the Olympics with like
but not even
silk.
But not even
the scarves.
Yeah, minus the silk of the scarves.
See this? See this move right here?
Yeah, I see that. That's good. Too bad we don't have that on film. You guys are missing it. Josh is like I don't know. He's like so limber and loose. Anyway,
that's what they used to call me in high school. Was old Josh,
LL.
old limber and loose Josh.
LL for short. So so no, that's about the only sport that I when I was in elementary school, I was into softball. I like softball. I do like sports, but what the heck?
No ice hockey?
No, God, no. We didn't. I didn't know anybody. I did do ice skating when I was younger, but I would never get on a pair of ice skates now. I'd probably kill myself.
That would be a fun field trip.
Know.
My mom's Sandy field trip.
She broke both hips.
No, I would hold you. They have like little
They're like walkers.
Yeah, like took a walk, but it looks like an octopus
walkers,
or something,
yeah.
or like a polar bear.
That would work.
Yeah,
that's what I would need. And roller skating. I loved roller skating. I was actually better at roller skating than ice skating. And I'm talking about roller skating where you put your foot in the roller skate boot, not the kind of skates that attach to your shoe. You probably don't even know about those.
I know about those.
But like going to a roller rink.
Yeah, you had like actual roller skates.
Yeah.
4 wheels. It's a boot. Yeah. It's like the fatty stopper. Yeah. It's a roller skate.
And you do them at the you go to the rink and you
go to the roller rink.
I always liked the 4 wheels better than the little skinny blade of whatever metal
of ice skating.
Yeah.
When you would go to these like roller skating parties, would you guys like hold hands with like boys and like get the makeouts going on?
No makeouts, but if we had a boyfriend, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Did you guys ever? Well, I didn't go to roller rinks when I was a kid. Did you guys do? Did you guys ever play? There was a game I remember hearing about it when I was in high school. I don't think I was ever. I didn't really go to many parties, and so I don't know if I was even at a place where it happened. But you guys ever play like 5 Minutes in Heaven, 7 Minutes in Heaven?
No, we played Spin the Bottle.
Oh.
Big deal.
Do you ever feel like
we
that?
had like when I was in 6th grade.
Pin the tail on the donkey?
I remember the summer of 6th grade when we were getting ready to move from Pennsylvania to California, and I had a boyfriend. His name was Scott, and he was
Scotty Boombody?
He was so cool.
Scotty Too Hottie?
Yeah, you know how it is when you're that age. But anyway, I remember some friends of ours, I kind of hung out with my brother, and we kind of had mutual friends. And so some friends of ours had a pool party for us, like a going away party. And I spent the whole night making out with my boyfriend.
The whole night?
Yeah, the whole night.
Just tonsil hockey for hours.
It's like I don't know what's the big deal with that, but it was a big deal then.
I remember we had swimming in high school PE class.
Yeah.
And
did you get out your water wings?
No, because I think I knew how to swim at that point, although I was not a good swimmer.
Yeah.
But I remember like there was just so much. I mean, high school is kind of like a weird age.
Yeah.
And it was that thing of like, oh, bring your swimwear because we're gonna go swimming. No. And I remember excuse me, this is burp central over here. Okay, no more. Never again on a podcast.
Really, no more.
Topo Chico.
That's right.
Which is a great water, by the way. It's a great carbonated mineral water, but not on a podcast. If you need to go give a speech,
forget
not
about
work.
it. Yeah.
But I remember me, my friend Mike, and my friend Evan would not go swimming. Like we just were like, hey, we're just gonna take the zero for the day, because I was just, because it's a weird.
Why? Because you don't want to change your clothes.
Well, first off, I was like a very skinny, very pale, skinny kid. And I think also at that time, oh my God, I cannot stop burping. This is horrible. At that time,
I'd carry the show for you, Josh, but I just don't have it.
I understand. But another 10 episodes, you're going to be able to do it.
There you go. I'll be asking you.
You won't even need me.
It'll be my solitary podcast.
Oh God.
It'll just be me.
But like your body's changing, right? You're between the ages of like 14 and 18, 15 and 18. So girls' bodies are changing, boys' bodies are changing. And it's that thing of like,
I know, I'll tell you, when I was in high school, I don't know we never showered in PE.
Oh, I didn't shower in PE.
So it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
Like I'm going to take off all my clothes and go in this public shower with all these girls in there? There's no way. And I don't know what they think when they even install showers in high schools, because you're so self-conscious about your body and the way you look, and and everything's changing, and it's like, oh no,
there was legitimate times where like you would go a year, like you would you were a freshman year or sophomore year, right? And you would have a class with whatever, Emily, right? That's a make-up name. And then the next year, Emily would show up and she would have like boobs.
Yeah.
And as like as a 16-year-old boy, you're just like, oh my God, Emily has boobs?
Emily's a girl.
But I couldn't imagine, I remember having like hair underneath my armpits, and like, and I feel like I shaved in high school. I didn't have to shave a lot. But yeah, I had that thing. The showers looked like fucking prison showers. Like it was the thing in the middle, and it had like 3 shower heads on the side. And I'm just who the fuck is doing that?
I know. And there's no curtain. There's no privacy.
Nothing. And not only that, but it's like, and then they give you like,
I don't know what, and they must know in these high schools that people don't use these showers. I don't know why they keep building them in. It's
and they give you like a fucking, it's like this, like the double shoebox size locker. And it's like, okay, so, and I remember having first period PE, and it was such a bummer because
you had your backpack with all your crap in it. You had to.
Well, then you go to PE class, and then you're like, oh, cool, now I'm gonna get hot, I'm gonna get sweaty for an hour.
Oh yeah, no, take a shower.
Yeah, you know what else I did not understand, and I'm just gonna say it, and I think it's different when you're an adult. I still am not. I think it's weird, but whatever. Everyone to each their own. I remember being, I don't know, junior high school age, playing ice hockey. Not for the high school, not for school, just independent.
Right.
And I remember I always left the house, because when you play ice hockey, you wear a jock strap, or I had like mesh, these like mesh compression pants, and the cup just sat in there, so it wasn't like a weird jock strap. It was like a weird reverse thong thing.
Okay.
But I remember that there was like kids I played ice hockey with who were like 8th grade, 9th grade, who would show up to ice hockey practice or a game in like jeans, and they're like little tidy white, like Fruit of the Loom tidy whities, and they would like take everything off, and they're just there. And I just remember like, oh my God, like.
Well, maybe some people aren't that modest. I don't know. It's hard to imagine.
Like I did not feel comfortable. I mean, I didn't even feel comfortable, I think, looking at my own penis in, 8th grade or whatever. Like I was like, I don't know what's going on down there. Look at that little guy,
Little?
Look at that giant giant arm.
Did you just give away a secret?
I think when you're in 8th grade, I mean, I don't remember being like, wow, I'm like, I have like a wrench down there,
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't look at boys' penises either, so.
In 8th grade?
Yeah, no.
Okay. High school?
I saw a couple in high school.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, girl.
All right, that's for another
day. Episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't understand the shower thing.
I don't get it.
Did you guys have to watch the reproductive video in school?
Yeah, but we didn't do it in PE. We did it in
we didn't do it in PE. I think
science or health.
I feel like I did
a health class you take.
I feel like I did it in 6th grade, and I feel like they took all the boys into one room.
Ooh,
like because it was like split, like
really,
there was like a split
talk about a
6th grade class, and I remember like we talked about it a lot. Like, oh my god, we're gonna see it, and like I gotta say, I mean, I remember. I mean, but
well, I'm glad they handled that for me.
But then they show like a woman giving birth.
Yuck.
Yeah, but I mean, like they show everything. It's like
yuck.
It's like a horror film.
Yuck. So now you don't need to watch. You don't need to do it on your own. See, that's the beauty of it.
Do you think because iPads and YouTube and everything is like so rampant, do you think the teachers just give the kids a web address?
Really? Go. Here's your homework tonight. Learn about sex.
Go to
www.learnaboutsex.com.
Learnaboutsex.com.
There you go. Perfect.
So you got out of high school, you went to college. Did you kind of continue the party thing, or were you kind of like, by college years, were you kind of like, all right, I did it?
No, in college years, I wasn't doing the party thing. Not until... No, I wasn't. I was, it was tough. School was tough. College was tough.
Where did you go to college?
Really? Do I have to say?
Oh, you just California?
No, I went outside of California for 2 years.
And then you came back to California?
In Colorado and in Utah, and then back to California.
Did you like those areas better? Obviously not if you came back.
Well, I did like the experience of living in an apartment with roommates, although it was difficult, very difficult, because where I lived in Utah, there was 4 of us that lived in a duplex, 2-bedroom duplex, 1 bathroom. Can you imagine?
I mean, might as well just start taking showers in PE class.
I know. It was, what? And then there was another place that I lived there that was actually 6 people. It was 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom. Oof. 6 people, 6 girls, and so it's difficult in that my first year in college, I lived in a dorm, and my first roommate was Margaret from Houston. She had a Houston accent, a Texas accent. She was really nice, very religious, and ended up being in a sorority. So that took like a lot of her time away from me. But that was okay because I had other friends. The dorm experience was fun. But again, you're in even tighter quarters. You have, again, the shower down the hall. But it wasn't like, at least you had private stalls where you could shower. But that was your bathroom. You didn't have a bathroom in your dorm room. And you're pretty much on, I don't think we had bunk beds, but, the room really was not very big.
I remember when I went to college, I had like some friends who lived in the dorms, and I like went by and I was just like, nope, fuck this. Not a fucking chance. Yeah. Not a fucking chance.
Yeah, it's tough. And I'll tell you, if you don't get along with your roommate, it's a real problem. And you really have to learn how to communicate and, and try to get along. Otherwise, it's just horrendous. And I did have some crappy roommates in college.
Were you working jobs throughout high school and college? Did you have
high school? I did. My first big job was at the Palos Verdes
ice skating rink.
No, It was the Palos Verdes. I think they called it the Palos Verdes Gym or Palos Verdes Athletic
Club. PVAC.
It was a gym, and I was calling to solicit people for trial
Oh,
memberships.
you were a telemarketer.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, even back in the day.
Ooh.
Back in the day, they
God.
had telemarketers. But how we did it was we actually got a phone book
And just went down
of the area. Yeah, so
Yep.
we had to go down, like, we took letters, like I was in the L's and somebody else would do the B's, and, so.
You know what I was just talking to someone about the other day was how absolutely terrible it was. And you had to experience this as well. And the kids nowadays don't, is calling someone of the opposite sex and asking to talk to, calling their landline, their home phone number, and asking to talk to them. Because, you get a parent that
you got a parent, yeah.
And it was just like, oh, hey, is Emily there? And it was just like,
who's calling?
Who's calling? And it was like, well, this is Josh.
Josh who?
And it was like, oh, well, this is Josh from her fourth period science class. Well, what do you want? Well, I just want to see if Emily got the answer. I can check for that. It's like, oh, Jesus, fuck.
Yeah, no. It's totally different now with the cell phones.
Kids are just texting each other. They can just text.
I know. I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily good. I think that the technology that we have today is good to a certain degree, but I think that it doesn't allow people to really experience life in most cases. Like I did a job not long ago with my business, and it was a party. I'm trying to think if it might have been an anniversary party. And while the party was winding down and I was getting all my stuff ready to leave, I walk in the house and there's like, I'm going to say 6 people sitting in chairs in the same room, and they're all on their phones. Not one of them is talking to anybody, but they're all on their phones, texting and whatever. I don't know.
I see it a ton.
Playing games.
Yeah, I see it a ton when I go out to dinner somewhere, and you just see people, sitting on their, sitting a couple at dinner or a family at dinner.
I see you guys do it here.
Yeah.
You got your phone in front of you all the time. I think it takes away from the experience of life.
Yeah, but I think also, what I think it is though too, is that we are like, there's so many more moving pieces now than when when you were younger, when you were, in your 20s, or when I was younger, right? I mean, look, a perfect example is like, I would leave the house at 17 years old and I would go somewhere and you would say, okay, be home at 11, and you're like, and if you're going to be late, call. If I was going to be late, I'd have to find a payphone to call you, right? And I couldn't check email. I couldn't check.
Well, the other part of that is that
there was no internet to go on. And
I know, but as a parent, the other part of that is now, as a child, it's like, okay, my parents know where I am all the time. They can contact me any minute and any day via my cell phone. And if I don't answer,
parents can even put
GPS
track where the phone is. I had a client tell me the other day that she has something with her son and her daughter where if they're driving, she'll get a notification like every time. It's like, oh, so and so had an abrupt stop, or so and so went over 65 miles per hour.
I would hate that. That's horrible.
That's where we are though.
That's horrible. This is now you're always worrying. Well, I haven't heard anything. What's going on? Oh, what do you mean he's going over 65 miles an hour? That's just like.
Well, I think
as a child and as a kid who's like trying to grow up and obtain some independence and, kind of cut the apron strings from mom and dad.
Cut the umbilical cord.
Yeah, it's like very difficult to do that because somebody's always checking up on you.
Yeah.
How do you prove yourself to be trustworthy? And I don't know. I don't know.
It's a different time. I think that there's way more things going on, and I think that we've been put into a position where it's like, you have to keep up with email, you have to keep up with websites, you have to keep up with text message. Like, you only had one way of contacting someone before, communicating with someone. Now it's like text, email, phone, FaceTime, video conference.
Well,
it's everything.
But I will say this: texting is great. Like like when you're here and you have laundry, and I text you. Washer's done. Dryer's done. That kind of stuff. So that's great. But the thing that bothers me about text messages is that oftentimes it takes the place of having an actual conversation. And when you don't have that actual conversation, you don't actually know what the intention of the person who's sending the text. Well, are they mad at me? Are they being sarcastic? Are they being truthful? Or, you just don't know because you're not talking to them, and you can't ask them questions like you can in a conversation. So
yeah, I mean, I think that there is a lot. I mean, look, I've been in those situations where something gets lost in translation because of because of your text messaging back and forth, and I mean, I feel like everyone has kind of been there a little bit. But I just think that that's the world that we live in now, and it's
people break up via text.
100%. People will just ghost someone. Have you heard that? Ghost?
Yeah. What are you just like not answering?
Yeah. So like if you texted me and were like, "Hey, last night was weird. Are you in a bad mood or something?" And I just don't respond, and I just never respond to you again.
Yeah.
I've just straight ghosted you, girl.
And what's the purpose of that? Just that you're pissed off at me or something?
No, I mean that's like the ultimate.
Don't want to be bothered. The ultimate insult.
No, it's like the ultimate breakup, essentially, or just the ultimate like, see ya. Like I don't even have to respond. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't know.
It's weird.
It's a different time for sure. I mean, when I grew up in Pennsylvania, when I was in elementary school, listen, we had, and this is something you never experienced. We had neighborhoods where like we rode bikes together.
No, I did that. I did. I mean, the kids that on the street that we grew up on. I mean, there was a couple boys that were close in age to me.
But where you grew up on, the street you grew up on and the street I grew up on, totally different. I mean, we had big wide streets and trees and sidewalks and and I mean, lots of places to go, lots of places to ride your bike. It was relatively safe. We didn't have cars. Like, I mean, where you grew up, I know where that was.
You were there.
I was there.
Yeah. But we would get out in the street and we would, play football, tag football, 2-on-2 tag football. And we would ride bikes.
Dangerous place though.
But we would play it further down though. Yeah, like we wouldn't play on the corner, right?
I know.
And then, and I remember me and the kid across the street, we would take our rollerblades when we were doing hockey. Like we would take our rollerblades down to the little park off of, where Mikey's bar used to be, right down like Huntington Lane or whatever. There was like a little park, and we'd set up hockey nets and we'd shoot pucks and stuff. And it was just like and it was like, oh, be home before the sun goes down or whatever.
You and Freddie.
Yeah. Freddie Axelrod. What's up, Freddie Axelrod? If you're listening, which weirdly enough, he went on to marry a woman
named Sandy. Which is weird because that's my name and my husband's name was Freddie.
Ex-husband.
Well, as I said, my husband's name was.
Well, he's not dead. He's
still alive.
All right, so look, we're hitting the hour mark. There's so much more that we can talk about growing up Sandy.
Yeah, I should tell you about the Pakistani stories sometime.
I mean, yeah.
About the spirits.
Oh, the ghosts.
The ghosts.
I have some, so we'll do a ghost episode.
There you go. That'll be fun.
I think we figured it out.
Oh yeah.
Cause I have some ghost things. I don't know if I made them up or if it's like a legit memory, but we'll talk about that. But
now I'm curious.
I know. Well, I can't tell you.
Can we do another podcast tonight?
I mean, possibly. Play your cards right.
Ooh.
I got to get going. I have some things. You have some things you got to do too. We've hit an hour. First hour episode, Growing Up Sandy. Obviously.
Sorry, guys. I hope it wasn't too boring.
No, I mean, look, I think that it's a great thing to be able to talk about where you came from and how you got here. And I know that
I thought it would be more humorous, but it just isn't.
Well, no, I mean, I think it's good to know your hosts, know your hosts.
There you go.
And I think also it's just good to know, and I mean, look, I think we did the very much in a abridged version of you growing up and all that. And, there's way more that we can get into.
There's a lot of detail that I don't know that I even want to put out there, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
but I think that it was good to talk about it.
But give me a couple adult beverages and I might.
And you start talking.
That's right.
But I think that was a couple things that we hadn't really talked about yet was, your upbringing and you growing up and that sort of thing. So I'm glad that we got to talk about it.
Yes. And thank you all for listening, and also for I see that we're getting more 5-star reviews, which is really nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it is. I love that word, by the way.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yes, we will.
No, guys, we appreciate the support. It's been overwhelming. My mom checks the stats pretty much every day. And we're still working on getting her up on the Instagram to kind of take charge of that.
Yeah, we got to find some time to do that.
But give us a follow on Instagram at My Mom Sandy Podcast. Hit us up on Gmail if you have any questions, comments, or any suggestions on episodes you guys want us you guys want us to talk about.
Questions you want answered.
My Mom Sandy Podcast.
What kind of drugs did you take?
Yeah, we'll get into all of it. My Mom Sandy Podcast at gmail.com. And yeah, every Tuesday, brand new episode.
That's right.
Do you got anything else for them?
That's, I think, all I have. You know what I have to say about that? All right.
Yep.
Very good.
Sign us off. So, guys, thank you for listening to Growing Up Sandy. And we will see you guys next Tuesday.
Yes, we will. You guys have a great week. All right. Very good.